Hi, it's Bailey Aulenbach with Midnight Mama Sleep Consulting, and today I'm going to chat with you about when to move your baby from their bassinet to a bigger sleep space, so a crib or a playpen. What you want to know is that with every baby item, whether it's like a bumbo chair or a high chair, a vibrating chair, or a sleep space or a car seat, these baby companies have to go through rigorous testing to make sure that their item is safe. And they'll let you know what it's safe for. So a bumbo, for example, is not safe for sleep. It's also not safe if it doesn't have straps. So you'll be able to know when there's certain requirements for the products that you're using. When it comes to bassinets, your guide with the bassinet from the manufacturer, it will say in there if there's a weight limit. So if you have a big baby, I had two big babies. One was 9'4" and the other was 10'7". So if you have a big baby that's gaining weight quick, the chances of them transitioning out of the bassinet before a smaller baby are really high. You also want to make sure that your baby's not getting too long for the bassinet. So watch for the weight and the height requirements. If your child has met both of those, then it's time to transition. If your child has not met either of those, but they're starting to show signs of rolling, then it's time to transition to a bigger sleep space. Because rolling can be unsafe in a bassinet, it's always recommended that once they start showing those signs of rolling, A, you get them out of their swaddle, and B, you transition them to a bigger sleep area. We want your baby to be able to move around freely while they're sleeping. And you'll find that you'll put your baby to bed on one side of their crib, and in the morning they'll wake up completely on the other side. And this is fine. Babies spend a lot of their time in active sleep, and they're still getting rest while they're moving around the crib. So don't worry about that at all. And if you're thinking, I didn't even put my baby in a bassinet, we just went right into a pack and play, or we went right into a crib, is that okay? Yes, that's absolutely okay. Bassinets are more of a personal preference because generally babies spend the first 6 or 12 months in our rooms with us while they're infants. And a bassinet is just easier to have in the room for the first few weeks and first couple of months. But once they get too big, you're having to switch over to something else anyway. So lots of parents like to skip that step and just go right into the next stage so they know they're not having to switch the sleep environment too much. So that's definitely an option. If you're thinking that you don't want to have so many baby items, you can go right to a crib or right to a pack and play. I do always recommend that your baby sleeps in their own sleep space, whether that be a bassinet, a pack and play, or a crib, or even a toddler bed once they're bigger. These areas are the safest place for babies to be to prevent the risk of SIDS. And unfortunately, co-sleeping is not safe for babies. So we definitely don't want your babies in your bed with you. So it's way more ideal to have them in a bassinet next to you if you want them in your room. But we don't want them in the bassinet if they're too big or if they are getting too long or they're starting to show those signs of rolling. So always make sure to check your manufacturer's guidelines and what their height requirements or height restrictions are for the bassinet, and make sure you're tracking those with your baby so that your baby's safe. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in today on today's video. If you have any questions about transitioning your baby from a bassinet to a crib, feel free to leave them below. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos. See you next week.